And we're live. Welcome, you guys, for our sprint planning for Sprint 15. Here today, it's me, Joel, Amy, and Patrick. How are you guys doing today?
Okay.
Good.
Okay, that didn't look very good. Then okay. Okay, so
No, I'm fine.
today's meeting is going to be a 2-point meeting. I think that should be enough. And we're going to start our meeting with a little retrospective, talk a little bit about our sprint, the things that we did good, the things that we need to improve for the next sprint. And afterwards, we're going to look into some stories and try to build our sprint to see what we have there and give some points to some stories. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. So let us start with our little retrospective, try to understand what we did good and the things that we need to improve for the next sprint. And just feel free. Oh, present everyone first. Okay, everyone is seeing my screen. Okay, so things, ideas. What did we did good on the previous sprint? Things that we managed to accomplish. Process-wise or not process-wise, things that we did that were good.
Trying to remember. I'm pulling up the client meetings because it lists what we got done.
Is this the sprint that we switched to semaphore, or did we do that in the prior sprint?
It was 2 weeks ago, though, I believe. So it was this sprint.
So it's kind of a small thing, but that was a good move on our part because it's been a hell of a lot easier with the CI.
Now, what does semaphore do for us?
What Travis used to do for us, continuous integration testing.
Right, but why is it better?
Because it's more forgiving of things like timing issues on JavaScript testing, for one thing.
Gotcha.
It also runs RSpec, Thread, and Cucumber spec concurrently, so it's about 1/3 the time that Travis used to take.
Okay. Good reasons. We got 5 stories done. Maybe 7 if you count the subcategories.
I'd go with decreased time of CI, right?
Sorry?
I was just talking about the notes that he was taking. Yeah, it's a cleaner system to use by far.
Yeah, that's a plus. That last point is a plus, and it's a negative as well because you cannot configure that as well. You need to go to the administration and change configuration settings and stuff.
Well, I found it easy.
Instead of sending it through a file.
Yeah, on the other hand, encrypting environmental variables is a button push on semaphore, and as you know, it's a process with Travis.
Okay, sorry, Amy. What are you saying?
We got 5 stories done, possibly 7 if you count the subcategories.
Or something that we need to improve on?
Things that we need to improve. I think we've got to, as a team, or I need to find time to spend with Salim. It's tough because his time is hard to get. I think he's doing really good work, but I don't think he has the background of initial discussions with the client that some of us have. So I see some of the assumptions he's making maybe a little bit off, and he could benefit from discussions around the system requirements as we understand it. Not that they're necessarily true. We always have to verify with Chet, but rather than invest time in building something that may be a little off. And I think that works. That statement applies to all of us, actually. I think also our meetings with Chet have been pretty good. They've been a little bit pro forma. You know, we just follow a standard. I think going forward, maybe even the next client meeting, we have to do some serious preparation on discussions with Chet that we want to have. For instance, queuing up discussions of how jobs work. You know, we got into it with the PR Salim put together. We also started to talk to Chet about jobs on Friday. That's where we get into how this system has to work for him and what it should and shouldn't do. And we have to have some serious preparation to have a good discussion with him. Now we're getting to real business behavior.
Mm.
More things.
Overall, I think we're doing pretty well. I think we've got a good rhythm going.
Yeah, I mean, especially for a volunteer team, we're doing really good. We might be the most productive team on Agile Ventures, or at least one of them. I don't think anyone else meets as often as we do.
I think also that your availability to give more time to this, Shua, both in terms of helping design and architecture, review PRs in depth, as well as build significant functionality, has been a significant shot in the arm. I don't know if that can continue or not, but it's made a huge difference.
Yeah, this sprint went a lot better because we had that.
Right.
Yeah, about that, I'd like to say yes, and I hope not.
All right.
You hope not what?
I hope I don't have more time to give, because currently I'm in a midst of waiting for some paperwork to restart working where I was. So the much more time I spend here, it means that I don't have the paperwork, so it's not that good.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I was kind of wondering. I'm like, oh yeah, he's really available now.
Well, we're not saying we want it to continue if it affects you that way, but it's just been a good thing.
Yeah.
And I think the task management thing, I don't think any of us on the team could have built that. I would have built something a lot simpler, a lot less capable. So that's all good.
Okay, so more things that we'd like to add to the list. I think one of the things that we need to improve is this, especially I have some problems with our tasks, because sometimes they are very generic and sometimes they are very specific, and it's hard. And I'm going to give you like an example here. For example, this one, redesign the navbar. Okay, it's a nice task to have here,
Yeah.
but it doesn't say anything.
Yeah, it's not very specific.
So it's very hard. And for example, the tasks that we currently have in the sprint create, they are more or less all like that, and it's going to be very hard for us to pick up on them.
Mm.
We need to rewrite that story.
Yeah, the major problem I see here in the majority of these stories is that um, it's like a statement of good intention, but it's not a practical work. We don't know what we want to do with them. Because we say like here, redesign the homepage. Okay, we would like to redesign the homepage, but what are you going to put there? That needs to go through chats, and first we need to talk to him and understand those things. So we need to take a look at that. Another thing that I believe that we need to improve, it's we merge too many tasks, and then the tasks get too big, and by getting too big they take more time. So um, I like the way that you guys did some of the tasks, that they were very specific. I prefer tasks that are more specific than those that are more broad, but that's a personal opinion here. Because if they are very specific, even if they are all ones, I prefer to have 20 tasks one with a size of one than to have one task with a size of 20, because it's easier for us to close little things. Uh, it's easier than to close a very big thing, and we created some tasks, as we spoke already in the previous week about that big task of that big task from the homepage of the job seeker, that had like 3 stories, and then we merged them all into one, and now we have here 2 bugs that need to be solved because the story was not complete at the same point. The same thing with Patrick, now that you merge 189 with 120. I understand the stories are little, and they could have been done in just one step, but you know we it's better for us if we can do smaller tasks and just finish them very quickly and be able in 1 day, 2 days to just shoot them up and be done with it. At least that's my point of view on this. I don't know what you guys think
So
about
we
it.
want more granularity on the
Yeah.
tasks.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Back to the point you had earlier, where you're saying that the tasks or the stories need to be better defined. I think we're mixing up like stories that are ready to be worked on versus stubs. Like there's a bunch of stuff in the backlog that are stubs, such as the nav bar and the home page. We know they need to be done sometime, but they're stubs, and maybe we should be flagging them as stubs. It's like, okay, this is a rough idea, it's not ready for production. Before we can bring it forward, we need to hammer out exactly what that's going to be.
Okay, but from those stories, the thing is from those stories we need to pick up, and we need to do things over them. Someone needs to take control of it, and at least try to get to or a list or something of things that we want to, for example, on this navbar thing that we like to show there, and then we have here 2 options: or we go back and forth with the client and see how it goes. We can do that with 1-2 stories, or we can just implement things and then show it to him in the end. These are the 2 approaches that we have here, these 2 possibilities. I prefer the first one, but I understand the second one is more appealing. So I don't know what you guys think about it. If you prefer the back and forth with the client, or if you just prefer to do what we think is right and then show to him.
Back and forth is better. However, the client is often not very available. and it's often easier to show him and get a reaction.
Yeah, I understand that. I think he's very. The thing is, I think he's very available, but he's very visual at the same time. So I can write them the text with the very large description, awesome description with everything written down. But for him, I believe it's much easier to see an image and say, okay, I don't like this, or I prefer it that way, than to have a description. So I don't know, because usually when I send when I send Chat an email, he just fires back an email like half an hour later or something. So
Mm-hmm. Speaking of sending emails to Chet, I got a query from Celine, I think, over the weekend, asking for Chet's information. Said he had a question for him, and I said, yeah, I think only Hua does that, but I don't know. I mean, does only Hua do that or not?
I don't think. I think Patrick also has the contact from Chat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
The thing is, um, I don't mind sharing his information. I doubt he minds me sharing his email address because there should be no problem with that. The only thing that I am not 100% sure is if we start having multiple channels of conversation, we will lose something.
Yep.
Because, for example, Salim will fire him two questions, and there are two questions that we know the answer for, and for some reason, Chat now thinks in a different way, and Salim implements the things. Has he received an email from Chat, and all of us think the other way around. So what do we do? So there's always this problem when you start to have multiple channels of communication to centralize information after, because we need to centralize that information somewhere.
Right, which is why I was asking for a clarification. Like, so what is our practice? What are we doing? Did we make a decision about it? Or it sounds like we have a practice, but not really a decision.
In terms of time, I prefer that everyone would be able to talk to Chat and be done with it. But at the same time, I think that might cause problems for the team. So
I would prefer that none of us send email to Chat unless we reviewed it as a team, or at least a subset of the team, because now we're getting to business decisions, business questions, behavior of the system, reflecting what Chunt wants to see, and we all have different perspectives of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we could all agree on a set of questions to go to Chat, or maybe remove questions because some of us know the answer. We can point to documentation, but I think it's a dangerous thing for people to be sending an email to Chat without at least a subset of the team reviewing, if not all of us.
That sounds like a good idea. How will we do that? Like bring it up in stand-up, maybe?
Yeah, just say, we should review these things before we fire them off to Chat.
Yeah, I think we can do that, and it can be one of the points on the stand-ups if we have any question that we'd like to see answered from Chat, we can just pop up in the stand-up and say, oh, I have this question. Do you guys know the answer? Yes, no? Let's work on it. If we don't have the answer, we just fire up an email to Chat, and then the answer will be added into somewhere in the website. I can create a new subfolder here with, I don't know, something, or we can use this one, system behavior and design, with something here, or we can create a new tab where we have all the communications that we had with the client.
On that page you were just at, things we need to do better, I would say that, didn't catch it when you first put it up there.
Oh. Sorry.
The second bullet there, prepare discussions about business behavior with chat. And just strike around jobs, because I don't want to say it's just jobs. It's a lot of different things, right?
Okay.
The other thing I'm wondering is, and I don't know what you guys think, if the use of WIP PRs, work in progress PRs, we've been using them so far, I think, for more exploratory things, maybe spike type things to see how they're going to work out, and then evolve the design. And that's worked out pretty well. I'm wondering if we want to start encouraging the use of WIP PRs for larger tasks that somebody has underway, or things they're not quite sure of, and they put it out there. Maybe even put some comments with questions that people could review and comment on in GitHub. What do you guys think? Would that be useful?
I'm not sure what you mean by whip PRs. I thought that by definition you didn't make a PR until everything was hammered out and done.
No, we've got this concept called a work in process PR, which is we're not done, but I've done enough where I think I could benefit from some feedback from the team.
Okay.
So I throw it up there. I put WIP, W-I-P, in caps in the title, and everybody knows, okay, this is not a merge candidate, but it's code that's under development. Somebody's looking for review and comments, and maybe some help.
Okay.
So we just mark it. There you go. There's a WIP right there.
Okay.
I like it and I don't like it. First of all, I like it because I think it's always good to, if we don't have much time to work together on things, so it's always good to have feedback of other people on what we're doing, and if we don't have much time to work on the same online with the others, with everyone, from time to time it's good to maybe do a work in progress, so we can look into it and see how it's going to be built, especially in stories that are bigger, or that include a lot of things. That's a good thing. On the other hand, I don't know, because I was almost exclusively doing the reviews of all the PRs until like 2-3 weeks ago. So reviewing the same PR 3, 4, 5 times, it's a pain. Yes, but I think everybody should. But in the last few weeks, Patrick have been giving a hand as well and looking through the PRs. I think that's something that we need to change a little bit on our team, and everybody should go into the pull requests and look at them, and because everybody looks at the code in a different way, and if you have questions on something, or is there anything that you believe that's not the way it should be, you should just go there and write something up. Because that's also part of the process of learning. Because learning, it's not only code, but sometimes by looking at other people code, you look at the code and say, oh, this is how we do these things, or oh, what the hell is doing here? It doesn't make any sense, and you just write a comment saying, I don't like the way you assign variables, or something like that.
I would absolutely agree with that. I think it's a great learning experience, and everybody ought to do it on the team anyway. By the way, I have been looking at PRs almost the whole process. Maybe I haven't been commenting that, hey, I reviewed this PR, no comments. But I've made it a practice, pretty much, of looking at PRs.
That would
more time on it.
That would be a good idea. Just leaving a comment. I mean, I've sometimes gone and looked at them, but I would be all like, well, I don't know how much help I'm going to be with this. But seeing that people are looking at it is encouraging to everybody else who hasn't looked at it.
Sure. Yeah. Leave a breadcrumb.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on our retrospective? Because we already spent enough the time of our meeting here.
I think that's quite a bit, especially
Yeah.
with two of us.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm just going to save this up and let's move on to the tracker here. Okay, so I merged some PRs and stuff and things. This morning I think I merged like 2 or 3 PRs, and I believe I'm going to merge as soon as we finish this one here as well. So we currently have 4 tasks in progress. I'm not sure who's doing this one.
That's me.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
In fact, that's kind of done. It's just they're all part of the same page.
Okay. Okay. So we have these tasks ongoing. I think Salim wants to pair on model issues, and in here we have some things that we already got working. Yeah, we just gave numbers here. Yeah, sizes. So you guys like to go through all our creation sprint creation list to see what we have here and add some points to it?
Oh,
Sure.
yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, my first question here: how do you guys feel about assigning points to bugs?
I feel we should do whatever it is that we have been doing, and I can't remember what we've done with bugs and chores. With Pivotal Tracker, they're trying to measure value output, so bugs don't get points. On other teams that I have, we have given bugs points because we wanted to measure where the effort was going. But mainly, I think consistency for our situation is the most important. So whatever it is that we've been doing, and I don't know what that is.
Well, I think we've decided to, in the past, we've given points to bugs for the very reason that it is consuming capacity. So if we ever want to try to plan and project, extrapolate, we need to include that work.
Okay.
Okay. So let us begin on this. Okay, I was going to give points to this on this morning when I created this task here, but afterwards I thought, no, let us vote on it.
Yep.
So basically, this story is a very simple story. With the PR of the states, we forgot to add the line change a function in the application helper. And basically, what we need to do is to change this function called single. No. Okay. Oh, okay. I was hearing myself.
Yeah, we're getting an echo. Going now.
Application helper.
Okay, so basically it's in the application helper. Okay, if I knew how to write it would be awesome.
Oh, okay, I see.
And we need to change this single line address function. Basically what it does, it's just, oh, there's me again. Sorry, the helper. Where's the helpers? Helpers, application, helper. So it's this small function, and we need to add the state here that we're missing. Okay. Anyone have any question here?
Nope.
Cucumber method to ensure that the state appears?
Cucumber. No, there's no need for a cucumber.
I don't think so.
I think it's enough for an R spec. All right. So okay. So are going to our MetPlus channel and we're going to vote there. Are you guys ready to vote?
Yep.
Ready to vote.
2, 1, and vote. Okay.
Unanimous.
Let's hope all the stories are like this. Here. And 1. Done. Here, let's move it here. Okay, so next story. What we need here? We need 2. Well, we're missing cucumber scenarios for the story 202. We need to check that the job seeker after the after he logs in, he goes to the correct page. And we also need another scenario, that is, you can edit it if you need to change the or someone else. Okay, I don't know. So another scenario we need to change is the scenario that edit the user. That now we can do it through the page, the home page, and we can use it to check out everything is okay. And any other relevant test on the page itself, because the page has elements in it, so we should check that everything is there. Make sure that our case managers, or if they should display there, they are displayed. The job developers and everything. Okay.
Okay, so the first point, the redirect, the custom redirect, that was blocked because we don't have custom redirect on the site. Has that been fixed? Do we have custom redirects now?
So someone awesome did something this morning. It was to merge this PR.
Okay, great.
So basically now we can. The only thing I believe it's already working for the controller, for that specific controller. It's the change. It's in the application controller. We have a new function here that's called after sign-in path.
Okay.
And we already go there for the job seeker. So the first test is already done.
Okay.
I think the first test is already done. Yeah. And that's it. If we need, when we have the agency person, we'll add here the agency person information and the company person the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. So where is that? Here. So basically here we need to make sure that the first test is correct and is working. I think it is. We need to change the job seeker edit to make sure that when you go to the page, and if it exists, I believe it exists on the job seeker site, make sure that we go to the home page, and then from the home page we click on the button that is edit, and we go there.
Does that not? So this is a test for it, right? Not to make sure that happens, because we have a button. Okay. This is all just describing tests.
These are tests because we don't have tests for this.
Okay.
What is that second one? Is that the job seeker profile edit?
Yes.
But you can edit your user profile from anywhere, any page, right? I don't know what's distinct about that test.
I gather that this test is to make sure that when you go to the job seeker homepage and there's that button next to your information that says update your information, it actually takes you to the update your information page.
So this is not user profile, this is other information, like, I forget what information might be there, but...
Yeah, so on the job seeker homepage, it has, at the very top, it has your information. And it has like your name and your job seeking status. And it also has your case manager and your job developer. And then next to it is update your information. And the purpose of that was to give job seekers extra access to their information while they're thinking about it. So the test is to make sure that when they click that update your information, they're taken to the edit your information page. Even though on every page in the navigation bar, you can get to the edit your information page.
So it's the same thing. Okay.
It's the same thing. It's the same functionality being offered in different places in different ways.
It's basically a different path to go to access that.
Well, wouldn't it eventually morph to I can go and see my information like the resume that I uploaded, and I can replace that with a new version or add a second version of the resume, that kind of stuff, right?
It should, yeah. All that should be done on your. You should be able to do that on your edit yourself page.
On your edit yourself page.
Yeah, and everybody has their own edit themselves page, I think, at this point.
They do, yeah. I think Vijaya did that.
Yeah.
Somebody did. Yep.
Okay, so this is our test, and then we need to look at the page and see if there is any other test that is missing, any integration test that is missing that we can do there to test everything. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions?
Nope.
No? Are you guys ready to vote on this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so just add this. And let's vote in 3, 2, 1, and vote. Okay, so I think it's going to be a nice afternoon, this one. Okay, done. Next story here. Refactor job seeker new functions.
What's that?
Okay, so this is a job seeker method. No longer need to check if the self is a job seeker. Side function, find agency person and assign agency person. Inside the function assign agency person, move the check of agency person type to the caller functions. And instead of using the code self agency relationship role, use the find agency person. And remove commented functions and add our spec tests to check the new functions. Okay. So a bunch of work. But it's basically refactoring the job seeker functionalities.
These are all in the job seeker model, this work?
I think yes. Yes, to models, job seeker. So basically, these are the functions that need to be removed. This doesn't make sense anymore because it's no longer
A class
method.
Yep.
So the same thing here. What else? Move the check to the caller functions and use the new functions, use case manager and whatever. Okay, so agency person. Oh, okay. So basically, remove this variable here and just add in here case manager dot is a case manager. If not, just raise an error. And the same thing here for the job developer. We don't need to have this huge code here because it's not supposed to be here. And so it should just be sent off into the other place. And instead of using this, we're using role. So here, there's a new function called find agency person by role. And it will get to the role person instead of using directly agency relationships.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions about this?
Nope.
No. Amy? Any questions?
I don't understand it, but I don't have meaningful questions to untangle it, and I figure I'll worry about it when I start the story.
We can clarify here. If we can clarify a little bit more the story.
You could clarify it, but I don't think that in this planning meeting you'll be able to clarify it enough for me to understand it. And it's, I'm still in the middle of another story, and I've got a couple more stories before this one, so maybe by then I will understand it better.
Okay, so are you guys ready to vote on this?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, so let's vote on this story in 3, 2, 1, and vote. So, hey.
If I have to I'll have to figure it out, so it should take me longer. I can go down to 2 if people really want me to, but that's my guess.
I think that the major problem here is the description itself. We can review the description because the changes here are very simple. The changes that we need to do is remove these comments,
Mm-hmm.
remove this because it doesn't make sense anymore, and remove this line.
Mm-hmm.
Remove this piece of code, and instead of this piece of code here, call the new functions. There are called is case manager or is job developer here.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, Hila. I just can't observe it right now.
So let's go with the 2.
Sure.
Okay, I'll try to write it in a better English afterwards.
Yeah. And by the time I get to it, I probably won't be so befuddled.
Okay, so let's go down on this. As a developer, I need to stub tests to an external service.
So I just wrote that during this meeting. So this is adding stubs for the cruncher service.
Mm-hmm. So my suggestion on this is to use VCR. It's pretty straightforward, and that's it.
Well, I've already kind of started it. I'm using WebMock.
You're stubbing? Oh.
Yeah, and so I don't see the need for a VCR right now. It might clean up the code a little bit, but it doesn't really add any value right now.
No, I said VCR because it's pretty easy. You just need to execute it once, and it will pick up all the information it has to pick up, and it will reproduce afterwards. So
yeah,
that was why I suggested VCR. But if you're already on the verge of doing it, I'm okay. Does anyone have any question about this task itself? No.
Not me, no.
To add anything else?
Not really, and this is limited to RSpec, as you can see, because we don't have Cucumber tests anyway yet for the cruncher stuff.
Yeah.
So it's fairly contained.
Okay. So do you guys want to vote on this story?
Sure.
Okay. So we are ready. So we'll vote in 3, 2, 1, and vote. Okay.
I could go with a 1.
I went to the 1 here because we just need to, instead of calling it, so I understand there are some functions there, but it's a pretty straightforward thing. I can go with 2. I really don't mind.
Why don't we go with 2? I've got a branch built, and I've got all my RSpec tests stubbed, except for one particular test. That involves calling a function that in turn calls another function that's supposed to raise an exception. It's captured by the calling function. It calls the subfunction again, which corrects it. So I'm having trouble stubbing that out. You can imagine, but I'll figure it out.
Okay. Okay. So
I think a 2 might make sense.
It's a 2 already. Okay, so our redesigned navbar.
What is that? We don't know what it is.
Yeah, what should our nav bar look like? I mean, we have been kind of redesigning it with the introduction of the home page and as we add stuff with admin or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be nice to highlight the page that we're on. But that's the only change I can think of for the nav bar.
So do you guys want to write things down that we'd like to show up here and add points to it?
I'm not all that worried about the nav bar at this point
So,
in the project.
Neither am I. So
Maybe
that's why I just move this one up.
Yep.
I think nav bar, redesigning the home page, UI consistent navigation, consistent view and feel of UI. Are these things that we're ready to talk about yet?
I'm not.
Yeah.
I think that the best way to approach this is if someone has any idea, I can talk to Sam, and because he said he can help us on the UX part. So maybe this is the part where we need some hands-on with someone that knows a little bit more of UX. Maybe I'll talk to him and see if I have some time to walk him through the website and everything.
Sure.
So he can take a look at it, and that's it.
Okay.
Let's see what we can come up with from
Okay.
that.
And then should we maybe do 2 more stories, the company landing page and adding the task board to the agency person page?
Agency person page.
Yeah.
You're saying both these two?
Yeah, company landing page and 257 right below it.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see this one. As a job developer, when I search a job seeker that match a job request, I don't think we can do this yet. Or maybe we could, but we needed to split this into pieces. Let me just put it here.
We need the cruncher working for that.
Yeah. So as an employer, I want to have a homepage. Still need to define what should be present there. So for this page, I believe what we need is more or less change the redirect. Redirect application for the employer person? No.
Okay.
Company person.
Company person. And let's call it design, layout, and what should be present in the company homepage. And when I say design, it might not be mock-up, but more or less an idea what we'll have there, more or less how we'll display the information, and that's it. Are you guys okay with that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep. Do you guys think we can vote on this story, or do we need more clarification here?
The design, when you say design, you say not a mock-up, are you saying adding just placeholder code, like this table goes here, that type of thing? Which I think would make sense, actually.
I can go either way. I think Salim did that on his jobs, and I think it might be a way to go. I think it could be an interesting way to go. Instead of doing all the get all the job seekers that applied and everything, we just put there a table, hard-coded table in HTML that says all the job seekers that apply to a job, and then the information that we are going to display. More or less to have a visual information of what we're going to display here and how things will look.
Yeah, I mean, we could put some real stuff on there today too, which is, for instance, all
But
the.
what I'm saying is, I don't want this company landing page to develop views of this and that and create more controller points. I want this story to be just create a redirect, create the basic layout of the homepage, and eventually just display some static HTML that with the functionalities that we will implement in the future.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree. Except there can be some dynamic HTML is my point. We could at least have a table there saying these are all the company contacts associated with this company. Here are your colleagues, type thing.
Yeah, but the problem there is that that will include some more work, and maybe we will need to create a new function to do that, and we will need to test everything out and everything. And I wanted to make stories as simple as possible. For example, if we just add the thing statically, we look at it and say, okay, I like it, and I think this should be here. Then we create a story and say, create a function that will retrieve us all the contact persons from this company and add it to the homepage of the company. And with that other task, we will create that functionality and add it to the current page. I think if we work this way, we avoid stories that take a lot of time because we are just focusing on one simple thing. At least that's the way I think it's best to organize this. No, I'm not sure if you guys agree with it or not. Is that a yes?
Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, that's fine.
My major concern, and I'm going to tell you this, my major concern here is that we are implementing things that don't make sense to chat, and we will have an awesome page that have a bunch of awesome functionality that chat doesn't really care about or doesn't want or doesn't need.
Yep.
And this way, if we just get there the HTML and say, this is what's going to look like, and this is the information that we'll provide. I think it saves us time, and because it will save us time because we don't have to implement other things, and in that way we'll have a much more visual output for chat.
Okay. So we don't want it to drag like the job seeker and job developer stories. So we're just creating the container.
Creating the container and just creating some static HTML with possible information.
Okay. And what about the test? Do we need cucumber tests that the information is there?
No.
No.
No, what we need all the things that we are going to pull from the database. We need to make sure that they are there or something like that. That the page is viewable. But the things that are static HTML, we really don't need to have it tested because they eventually will change with our when we do things.
Okay.
When we create the users and everything.
So the baseline RSpec tests that check for HTTP success and check that it assigns the right object, gets the right company. That should be enough.
In terms of our spec, yes, it needs the cucumber test to make sure that when you log in as a company admin or as a company contact, you get redirected to this page.
Okay.
And make sure that you're in the correct page, and that's it.
Okay, let's add those. Okay.
So,
I can do it.
Controller.
You can do it. You're doing it. Okay.
Controller. In terms of basic tests, cucumber. check CACC, go to this page, and when okay, basically this is more or less what we need in terms of development. So,
and configure the redirect in, what is it, application helper? Where is that redirect function? Application controller.
and with this layout, and we
It's basically a mock-up using code instead of
pages with
graphics.
possible, yeah, with possible elements that we will display in this page. So, is this okay? Any question here?
Nope.
No? Okay, so I'm going to add this, and I'm going to remove this comment, and remove this comment here. Okay. Okay. Any question about this, or can we vote on this story?
We can.
I'm ready. Mm-hmm.
I think we can vote. So let me just. We need to add some functionality on the website to make this easier.
Be nice.
Yeah. Okay, so let's vote in 3, 2, 1, and vote. Okay, so today's been a consensus day.
Must be doing something wrong.
That or something good.
Groupthink is happening to us. Gotta prevent that.
Or maybe a good thing, because we might be defining correctly the stories and it's easier for us to vote on them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're already 5 minutes over the time. Do you guys want to vote on this little story here or not?
The add task board?
Yeah.
Are you intended to do this? I would like to see that happen this sprint. So yeah, we should vote on it.
Vote on it?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. So basically, this story is very simple. Is we need to go to tasks controller and go to the tasks index, and we already have there the render partial. We need to go to the controller, pick up the information that we need, and it should be just pasted on the agency person homepage.
Yep.
Okay, so this should be a very simple task. Eventually, we might need to do some, if you want to do some cucumber tests there, or if you want to use the cucumber tests that are already done and move them into this page, you do the tests using this page instead. It's up to whom will develop this page. Okay?
Okay. I'm good to vote.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me pick this up and wrong window. It's this one. Okay. Okay, so let's vote in 3, 2, 1, and vote. Okay.
So there's one other story that, if you guys can bear with me for a minute, which we may want to get to this sprint, which is basically connect up event management with tasks. Because right now we have a couple of known events that happen that should result in tasks being automatically created. And both sides of that equation that I just said are ready to go. We just got to instrument event management to create the correct task when an event happens.
that was something that I thought about, but I didn't saw anything here.
No,
Like,
we don't have a story
we
for
don't
it
have a
yet.
story for that.
No, we don't. That's a so,
So,
and it's
add,
something we can do now this sprint, so it's worth doing. Bless you.
Thanks.
add task creation to already events. As a developer, I need to add task creation code manager. What events do we currently have?
Job seeker joins pets and company registration request.
Okay, we don't have a business logic for the company yet.
We don't have one?
We don't have business logic for the company yet. Let me just show you what I'm
Oh,
talking
you're
about.
talking about the business logic module. Yeah.
So
We have business
currently,
logic for the company.
so we currently only have these three tasks creation. That's when the job seeker doesn't have a job developer assigned, and same thing for the case manager. We only have like logic for these two, so we
We'll have
might
to
need to
extend it.
create. We need to create this, or so I need to add the task creation, the event manager for all the four. I think it's okay.
So are you making that test just augmenting the business logic? Is that what you did?
Hmm. You just need to create a new one. Just need to create a new function here.
No, I know
With
that.
oh,
What I was saying is, I thought we were going to create a test to integrate event management with task management. But are you going to do the task management business logic as a separate story?
I don't know. That's what I was thinking. Maybe if this because the thing is, this might be a very small story, or not that small, but not that big story. Because um, let me write everything down, and we'll see how the story goes. Okay.
Well,
So
let me give you my. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
just
My my rationale for thinking of it as one story is
mhm.
that this is something we're going to be doing as we add events and notifications, and it'd be good to know how straightforward it is or not.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
We have to have one person be able to add an event, add the notification, and add the resulting task creation
So you're
in
saying
one
that you
task.
don't want me to do this?
No, I'm saying it would be a good trial run if somebody did all the steps. We've already got the events created, the notifications are going out. We just have to bolt on the task creation, which involves augmenting the business logic. But that step, the some poor slob downstream who adds the 12th event has to do all steps.
Okay. So
You know what I mean? Am I making any sense
event
here?
manager. Yes, I do understand what you're saying. On event manager, we need to add the call to uh, task creation on job seeker registration and add the call to task creation on company 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 registration. We need on live task manager business. Add a new function to create the task of company registration. Add the description of task. And
Task manager, right?
I think that's it. Because we don't need to do anything special for this task, I believe. We just need to create a task. And
We don't have to touch the task model itself? Guess not, huh?
we shouldn't. No, the task model shouldn't be touched at all. This is all the logic. In here, we have a bunch of logic that should be. You should need to touch it. And so basically, this is the module that will be touched always.
Yep.
To create the functions that we need to create. If we need, I was thinking if we needed to create instance methods for any change of state, but I don't think so. At this point, let's move it.
So that's nice and clean. This will be a good test of that. It's nice and straightforward.
So we need to add tests for new business logic. That's it. And add tests for event creation to check if tasks are created as well. Add tasks, I'm going to put add/edit because there are already tests there, so we might not need to add a new test. We just might need to just add the check to see the tasks were created correctly.
And you're speaking of
I would another change here. If you guys think it's not too much, I would move. I do this. Move. Or do you guys think this should be done in a different task? I really mind anyway. Just to move it from leave.
I kind of think it should be a separate. I mean, we talked about keeping these clean and discrete at the beginning of the meeting.
No, it's just because it's just a git move and okay, but okay.
Literally, that's all it is.
And yeah, we change the requires, but that's it. We just do it in another place.
And the tests here are understood to be Cucumber and RSpec, right?
Yeah. The thing is, the Cucumber tests, I'm not 100% sure if we want to do Cucumber tests. We can do it. We can do them. But the Cucumber test would be just to move on the task till done. I don't know. But for that, we need to have the agency person viewable.
Yeah, that other story's got to be done too.
Yeah. So and as this basically this is not going to add anything to our in terms of logic.
Right.
So I don't know. We can add some Cucumber tests here, but we don't have a place to test them right at this point.
Well, there's an event management Cucumbers feature, so I would just add to that.
Yeah.
That the tests show up in that agency admin page that you're going to add that list to, or who somebody will.
Okay. So does anyone have any question here?
No, I'm fine.
No. Okay. So I'll just push this.
Okay.
And so let's vote on this story. Are you guys ready to vote?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So let's vote in 3, 2, 1, and vote.
Ooh.
It seems really complicated, but I'm not going to work on the story, so.
Amy, if you'd reviewed the PR, it's not that bad actually.
Okay,
The way
fine.
it's architected is straightforward.
Do you want to understand what we need to do here?
No, I think my head might explode.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Okay. So it's.
My brain is hurting.
We need your head to stay intact.
All
I
right.
think we're done. Let's put a 2 here, and let's move this into somewhere.
Ready.
And we're done.
Hooray! We got a bunch of sprint planning done. Lots of stories estimated.
So we
Yeah.
have 27 points here that I believe should be enough for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Great.
I think.
Good.
Yeah.
At least in terms of metrics. Yeah, it should be enough.
Okay.
Okay, so do you guys want to add anything else to the meeting, or shall we just call it today?
Call it a day.
I think I'm good. Covered a lot of good stuff.
Okay, so if no one has anything else to add, let's just wrap it up.
Okay.
Are we going to do our scrum tonight? Or
I'll start the scrum.
Okay.
Nevertheless, it's just to, even if you don't have anything to say, just to start the scrum to make sure that the wheels are keep on spinning. Not for us, but if anyone from Agile Ventures want to pop up.
Okay.
Okay.
good.
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much, you guys, and I'll see you later or tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks. Bye now.